Yo guys, what is up? It's your boy TRUEDBZZ back with another video, and today I'm going to be discussing the newest trailer and a gameplay showcase of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So I'm going to be covering this in 4 different sections. Firstly, I'm going to be talking about what the game developer himself told us in the first part of the video. Next, I'm going to be talking about the Goku vs. Vegeta gameplay showcase, where we actually see in-game gameplay with all the HUD, how the movement works, and actual fighting itself. Next, I'm going to be talking about the newest character trailer. This theme is power versus speed, and we have a ton of different characters to go through, so we'll talk about that. And then I'll just give my final thoughts overall about the overall gameplay, the presentation, the trailers themselves, and all that good stuff. So going on to what the game director specifically tells us in the beginning portion of the video, is he confirms that this is a sequel to the Tenkaichi or Sparking games. I know there were a lot of stupid takes like this isn't a sequel or this is a brand new series. Like no, they confirmed that this is a sequel to the Tenkaichi games. We also learned that Dragon Dash returns and in both its variations. So we have like the regular Dragon Dash from the Tenkaichi series is just when you're flying around and then you use ki to power up your dash and you get the aura. So there's 2 different versions of it. You got the regular flight one, and then you have the in Tenkaichi 3, I'm pretty sure it's called like the Z burst version, where if you press X while dashing, you will go around your opponent and hit them from behind. So we do know the Dragon Dash is returning in Sparking Zero. Next, Impact Action returns, so these are the melee and beam struggle clashes. Next up is Ultimate Blast or Ultimate Supers do return in this game, obviously. So the next couple ones are a little bit of new mechanics or revamping of older mechanics. So first we have short dashes. I don't know if they have an official title for this technique, but they just call it short dashes. So this is a new movement option that they have added to the game. So this will just help you move around the screen a lot faster and keep the high pace going. You can also use this to get in on your opponent, as this is a really fast movement option, and you can use this technique in conjunction with other attacks like your melees, your ki blast, and dragon dash to either do offense or just maneuver around your opponent. And it's also good for just dodging attacks like supers and all that stuff. Next is the skill count mechanic, which is a revamped system from the Tenkaichi games known as the blast stock. The blast stock mechanic is where you gain levels throughout the fight and by doing certain actions, and over time you gain a maximum of 5, and then you can use those stocks to use for special moves like buffs and stuff like that. In this game, this mechanic returns as the skill count mechanic, but in conjunction with using it with special attacks to buff your characters, you also will be able to use these for transformations and brand new system mechanics as well. So the next new mechanic that they're adding is Revenge Counter, which is basically a guard cancel but for when you're getting hit. This technique costs 2 skill counts and knocks away the opponent on hit. This mechanic is similar to the Tenkaichi 3 game, where instead of using blast stocks, you would actually use a chunk of your health to blow your opponent away in a shockwave. The next move he talks about is the Super Perception mechanic, which is a counter state where you'll be able to counter various attacks. This move also costs 2 skill counts. We don't know if this move will be able to counter melee supers, but we do know it will be able to deflect ki blast supers. And then the last mechanic that he talks about specifically is Vanishing Assaults, which is a brand new mechanic meant to be used at the mid-range to close the gap on your opponent. This move is similar to Instant Transmission from the Tenkaichi games. This move does use ki, by the way. It doesn't use skill counts, but it does use ki. All these things are what the game director specifically told us after the Goku and Vegeta showcase. And speaking of that showcase, let's talk about that. So in the Goku vs Vegeta gameplay showcase, we see a variety of things. We do see the health bar and the HUD for the game. So we do see that the green bars are health, and it has green dots on top of it showing how many health bars you have. It seems like each character will have a max of 7 health bars and also 5 key bars at max. You can also overcharge these key bars for 10 at max. We also see the skill cost next to the character portraits, and it seems like the max amount of skill count that you can have is 5. Smash attacks do return, and it seems like just like in the Tenkaichi games that they do have a little bit of armor. So if you're hitting your opponent with light attacks and they use a light heavy attack, then they'll be able to absorb the light attack from the opponent and just hit them. It also looks like regular vanish costs key. It looks like when you get hit by an ultimate attack, you will actually lose focus on your opponent and you'll have to lock back onto them. Battle damage also returns, and it seems to activate after getting hit by a single super. Transformations do cost skill count, and if you want to skip certain forms, then you'll need more, just like the Blast Stock in the Tenkaichi games. So for example, we see Goku and Vegeta skip to their Super Saiyan Blue forms, but we do know that those versions of Goku and Vegeta are the Dragon Ball Super variants, and that they have Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God as their transformations alongside Blue. But since they skipped automatically to Blue, then skipping those costs 2 skill count instead of 1. So like I mentioned previously, you can overcharge your ki and enter in a pseudo high tension mode, where you'll be able to gain access to your ultimate ability. If you max out your overcharge bar, it seems like you will actually get a bit of a boost in damage, it seems like, but then the outside effect is that the sky will actually grow dark. And this is very similar to Raging Soul in Raging Blast 2, where if you overcharge your ki and press the R1 button, you would actually enter a state of Raging Soul, where your combos got buffed a lot, not only in damage, but all of your links got better, and then also you gain access to a very specific Raging Soul combo that did a lot of damage. And the last thing I noticed about the Goku and Vegeta gameplay showcase is that beam clashes are returning, but they're actually not the same as the Tenkaichi games where you had to rotate the analog stick. It seems like that the mechanic that they're using for beam struggles and melee clashes are the system from the original Budokai games, where you have to precisely time an input and fill up a bar, and whoever has the most in that bar will actually win the clash. So going on to the power versus speed character trailer, we get a number of new playable characters confirmed for the game. Those characters being Super Trunks or Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks. We also have Dispo, Kakunsa, Master Roshi Max Power, Nappa, Birder, Topo, Jace, Super Saiyan Berserk Kale, Super Saiyan Full Power Dragon Ball Super Broly, and Hit. We also see a brand new map, which is Destroyed West City. And then lastly, we see the character grid once again with all the new playable characters added to them. So with everything out on the table, what is my final thoughts about this overall gameplay showcase and the trailers themselves and the new information we got on the game? So going on to the information we got on the game specifically from the director, pretty much everything looks good. All the mechanics so far do cost a resource, so it doesn't seem like there's any mechanics so far that is legit broken or just like a free move that you can just use to abuse the system. Of course, we don't know how these things will work out in, like, with certain characters. Like maybe a certain character will have like a very strong Vanishing Assault, like a move or something like that, and it'll just break the game. But so far, so good. Pretty much everything so far that we've seen does cost a resource, and so resource management looks like it's gonna take a priority, just like in the original Tenkaichi games. So going on to the Goku vs. Vegeta gameplay trailer, overall the presentation looks really good. Of course, as a PlayStation 5 or just a next-gen game in general, the game looks fantastic. Specifically, I want to bring to light Goku's intro. Specifically, he has the little hop from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. which is a fantastic touch. I love that intro. Um, the auras look fantastic, obviously. Stage destruction actually looks a lot better than I originally thought. I thought it was just going to be like a couple rocks on the ground and maybe some destructible things here and there, but the stage destruction looks way more varied and vast than I anticipated. So I'm really curious on how this game is going to run, because if there's a lot of particle effects and stuff like that, I'm curious on if the game will be able to handle that. But we'll see. But stage destruction looks good. And I also think that the movement itself, just overall, just like with the short dashes, the dragon dash, the vanishing, stuff like that, like overall, the game looks very, very fluid. Some of the, just some nitpicks here and there. Just the HUD itself, when I saw the HUD for the first time, I was like, this can't be the final version. And I'm hoping it's not the final version of the HUD, because it does not look good. Like the health bars and the key bars look fine. You know, health is green, like always. Key is yellow. The overcharge bar is blue, just like Tenkaichi. But like the character portraits don't look that particularly great. They're not really anything standout-ish. Just the overall look of it, if just being these blue bars just everywhere, and then you just stick a key and health bar on top of them, like it's not really like unique or creative at all. Like at least with like the Budokai games, Tenkaichi games, like at least the HUD was like these pseudo scouter things, especially in specifically in Budokai 3. I remember like the HUD was like the actual scouter, and it's just like they could have done something, right? Even if they didn't want to use like the scouter for their HUD, they could have used like a Dragon Raider HUD or something, like something that's more unique and feels more like Dragon Ball, because just the character just standing there with like these just blue bars just surrounded by like, you know, the skill count, the health bar and stuff like that, it's not really anything unique. It's just kind of boring, honestly. I'm not a big fan of the HUD. The next thing I noticed is that the camera looks great in certain instances, but can be problematic if things get a little bit too hectic. Overall, it does look like the camera does keep up with the player and its various actions, but I can see in some instances where like characters are doing a lot of stuff at once, and it's just like a lot of particle effects, or characters are just moving way too fast with the short dash mechanic. And if players find like a shortcut to where like you can like special cancel like the short dash into like Z burst, or short dash into like specific like vanishing attack, and like the camera's trying to keep up, like I can see some issues where things are just way too fast and way too hectic to keep up, and it can be a little disorienting. But so far it looks fine, but I hope that you'll be able to do some customization with the camera, like maybe extend the draw distance or something, because the camera might be an issue. Obviously the game is in development, so this is way more nitpicky than any of my other things I've said so far, but some of the animations in this game look rough. Specifically Goku's outro looks really rough. He's just standing there, and then the camera just quickly zooms to his face. It's a very jarring camera angle. And then like certain animations, like the actual key charging itself looks a little bit stiff. When the characters are like using short dashes and their model just doesn't move, like when they're doing the short dash, it's just like you can see like the dash aura show up, but like their model itself don't really move that much. There's definitely some rough patches. Hopefully they get those things ironed out. Of course, we know that this game is still in development, and we're probably gonna have to wait until at the very end of this year or early next year to actually get the game. So they do have plenty of time to iron things out, but you know, just nitpick stuff. Just animations look rough. Not a full complaint, because I know in development, but I just thought I should point it out. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Oh wait, actually no, Speed and Power trailer. Character choices overall pretty good. I don't have a problem with majority of these character picks. Obviously, the one that stands out the most to me is Kakunsa, which means that Ribrianne and Rosie will be showing up in this game. It would be very weird if just her would show up, so we can pretty much confirm that Ribrianne and Rosie will be showing up in this game as well. We do know Super Saiyan Trunks is in this game, which is like the armor Trunks. We don't know if like early Sword Trunks is in this game. I would assume that he's in this game, but maybe this Super Trunks is maybe like, I don't know, like maybe it's a costume, maybe? I don't know. But we do know Dragon Ball Super Trunks is in this game, so maybe Sword Trunks won't make it into the roster, but we'll have like Armor Trunks and Dragon Ball Super Trunks. We don't know, but it's very interesting to me that they chose Super Trunks to showcase. But yeah, Super Trunks, kind of expected. Dispel actually made it into Xenoverse 2, so I'm not entirely surprised that he's here. Topo, base form Topo actually, is kind of a surprise for me. Because in Xenoverse 2, they actually added Topo to the game, but it was his God of Destruction form. So, we're not 100% sure if he'll have his God of Destruction mode in the game. We do know that Dispo will have his Super Speed mode through the V-Jump scan that we got a couple days ago. So we do know that his Super Speed mode will be in the game. We don't know if it'll be a technique or an actual transformation. Kind of like how early Goku has Kaioken as a special move, not a transformation. So Dispo might have Super Speed mode as a special, and it won't count as a transformation. We'll have to see. But we don't also know if Jiren has his full power mode. So if full power Jiren and God of Destruction Topo isn't in the base roster, then they also might be DLC, maybe. Just depends. But I hope God of Destruction Topo and full power Jiren also make it into the roster. Birder and Jace, obvious picks. I think the entire Ginyu Force will show up. Interesting if they'll make Ginyu's ultimate body change, and if they do so, will it work like Xenoverse where you actually swap characters? Or will it work like, you know, the Tenkaichi series where he'll swap with a random character? Like, most of the time he'll swap with, like, Goku. But in Tenkaichi 3, I remember he can actually switch it to multiple characters. Sometimes you'll get Vegeta, sometimes you'll get Krillin. I believe he can be Kid, Gohan, and Nail as well. So we'll have to see if Ginyu actually has a Goku transformation. But we can safely assume that the rest of the Ginyu Force will be making it into the game. Super Saiyan Berserk Kale. Kinda a surprise, but not really. We do know that the Universe 6 Saiyans are pretty popular, so it'd be weird to not include them in a game with 164 characters. Don't know if Super Saiyan 2 Kale or regular Kale will make it into the game. I hope so, but Berserk Kale might be the only Kale we get, and then we might only get Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, and maybe only Super Saiyan Kaba. We'll have to see. But if they only do Berserk Kale, kind of a missed opportunity. I kind of hope that Caulifla, Kale, and Kaba all have their transformations, that being base Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. But we'll have to see. And then, of course, we have Dragon Ball Super Broly, Hit, and Master Roshi. I feel like all those characters were a given because we already seen a Broly in the previous trailer, so we do know that he was already confirmed. Hit is a majorly popular character, so he was a given. And then Master Roshi Max Power was also a given for me because I feel like Master Roshi is a pretty important character to the Dragon Ball franchise. Of course, we don't know if his base form is in the game, so we don't know if we'll get like a Jackie Chun costume or like his like orange shirt, because the Roshi that we saw in the trailer was Dragon Ball Super Roshi, so he might only have his max form as a playable character. We'll have to see. Also, special note to Master Roshi, we actually do see in gameplay that he doesn't have flight. When he does one of his combo attacks, he actually jumps a little bit. And if you guys remember from Tenkaichi, characters that can't fly actually have a multi-jump. in the game, so Roshi is probably going to have the multi-jump in Sparking Zero because he doesn't know how to fly. So just a small note on Roshi, but overall these choices are good. Oh yeah, and also Nappa, obviously. Nappa is a given, and that also means that Raditz will make it into the game as well, because, you know, can't have Nappa, Vegeta in the game without Raditz unless you're Dragon Ball Fighters. But yeah, just overall character choices, good overall. Weird choice in Kakunsa, because honestly, if it was me, I would show that Ribrianne was in the game personally, because I just like Ribrianne more. But, you know, at least there's confirmation that the Maiden Trio will be making it into the game. And then lastly, just a new map, Destroyed West City. Also a given. I'm pretty sure every Dragon Ball game has a West City stage in it, so yeah. But yeah, I've rambled on long enough. Final thoughts, gameplay, showcase, character, trailer, and the developer section, all really good. Really good. I can't wait for Sparking Zero to come out, and hopefully we get new character trailers soon. So maybe within the next couple months we'll get another trailer for maybe, like, if they keep doing like this type of characters, like power versus speed, maybe the next trailer would be like maybe like balanced characters versus technique characters. So like maybe like a balanced character would be like Yamcha or Krillin, and then like a technique character would be like maybe like a Frieza or maybe like a Dobora. I don't know if Dobora is making in, but like, you know, if they keep doing like these themes for these character trailers, I'm very curious on where they go to next. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Sparking Zero content in the future. I'm looking very forward to this game, and if you are so as well, please be sure to support the creators and buying the game and all that good stuff. But I'm rambling. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Sayonara.